Well, actually, this leads us into something we wanted to talk about. There's a great quote that Russ put on his Instagram account yesterday. It was in his story, and I wrote it down or typed it. He says, if you're still letting a company take 15% of a distribution fee in 2020, you're condoning your own exploitation. Distribution nowadays is pressing one button and it going to the DSPs. That's not worthy of 15%. He goes on to say, distribute your own music and you'll see how exploitative, I think I said that right, labels are. Distribute your own music and you'll see how exploitative, there it is, labels are. So that he's exactly right. Imagine like using WeTransfer or Dropbox or Google Cloud and clicking on one file from your laptop, clicking and dragging it and dropping it into Dropbox. And then you're done. That is what a distribution company does. They have a nice dashboard where you can see the data that you generate on your own and that every distributor has, because they're all pulling from the same thing on Spotify. Spotify has something called an API key that lets certain companies have access to certain data. And these distributors are all tapped into the exact same Spotify API key, and they're all fed the exact same amount of data. And now some distributors have their own metrics that they create for you, but they're created out of the data that is given to them from the same key that everybody else has access to. There is no data from Spotify that one distributor has that another distributor does not.
Unless they don't want to share it with you, unless you pay more money.
Right. And there's exactly.
In my example, I mean, meaning DistroKid is the example there. DistroKid has the data that we have and that everyone else has, but they want to charge you more for it. Even though they have it already. It's not like they have to do anything different. They're not, we're going to charge you more because we need more. We have more work to do now. No, they've already got it. Just like you already have it for free on Spotify for artists. They have it. It's a money grab.
Yeah. There's a lot of money grabs. It sounds like, back to this client's email that he sent in about the bullshit deal that he was sent. That was a pure money grab. And they're going for the same on a lower scale of a big online distributor trying to get 10,000 musicians in there and all have them be somewhat okay and get a little bit of streams every time. This company was probably trying to get 100 or 200 of people who just, sign these little things and they say, oh, cool. Like they're going to help put my music on the DSPs because that takes a lot of time and, and connections. Not anybody can just do that. Right. And then like they just sit back and as these musicians promote their own music, then they're just automatically getting their 20% or more. And then what happens is we've run into clients a handful of times that have said something along the lines of this. Hey, one of my favorite songs, I was working with this bullshit distribution company or this bullshit promoter or somebody who now owns 15 or 20% of my song. What do I do in terms of like, they kind of say, look, I don't want to like go to court. I don't want to sue. Like what can I do? They're caught between, well, this is one of my favorite songs and I really want to promote it, but right away I'm out 20%. And they're like, well, what should I do? And it's a tough question. It's a case by case basis. Often if it's the song that's most marketable, you just got to, I think, swallow it and say whatever until you have the next song that is your next most marketable song. I think you got to swallow it. But yeah, lots of money grabs, both on distribution companies and these kinds of promoter guys. Yeah.
Go back to that request by them. They're asking for all this personal information. That's never going to happen. Definitely not just over an email and they don't No. And they're also not going to ask you for the file. You shouldn't be giving them any of that until you see a full contract. You'll never have to give it. And on the contract, you'll finally give your name, your address, and your social at most, or your day of birth. But you're not going to, even then, after that signed, then they're finally going to be like, most contracts, the fastest I've ever seen one is like 7 days after they want the master file by 7 days after you sign. No one even asked for it the same day. Like, this isn't a rush thing.
We need it right now. Yeah.
If you ever get a contract that says we need this today or we're moving on, it's probably not a good contract or a scam or something in it. The only time I'd say immediate within 24 hours is ever needed is a sync license. For example, recently had a client who is getting in the new NBA 2K. They reached out to him and said, you have 24 hours. And he did. Like, they have a video game they're trying to make and send out. He had 24 hours. That is expected, not for a label. There should never be a label or a distribution company that says, you got, no, 24 hours. This needs to be signed back to us, and we need all your masters. Why? They're not, and like, it doesn't benefit them in any way. If you think about it, if they're trying to get you signed fast, they're probably that's their way of going, hey, we gave you a chance to get an attorney. We didn't make you sign right away. We gave you 24 hours. And if you sign without getting it reviewed or having any idea, you're stuck with it, because in that contract, it's going to say you had the right to get an attorney and you waived that or you got one. Like, so anyone who's asking for personal information should not be asking for that until after anything is signed. If someone wants to sign or distribute a song for you and they're not giving you upfront money, there better be a benefit for you is the best way to think about it. What is the benefit for you? Cool, they're distributing the song. How much does that cost? Well, Songflower is going to cost $10. So they're saving you $10 and taking 20% of every stream you get. What other benefits do you get?
Oh, wait. Right? Nothing. Exactly. And I mean, the thing is I think the status quo for so long was like, well, yeah, distributors, they got to make the music. They got to make these CDs and ship them and physically bring them to a record store. But now it's on the internet.
Overhead. It's no different than like, so distributors used to be like Vistaprint. Vistaprint makes your stuff and ships it off. So you don't have to hold it, make it, and ship it. That's what CDs used to be. Like, you don't have to burn each CD individually on your computer. CD Baby was great at that because overhead is expensive. They would buy, they'd hold it. You'd still have to find shelving space if you're going to sell it in a store. They weren't going to help you do that. Why are they now expected to help you get streams? They never helped. They didn't help you sell CDs. They just made them. And now all they're doing is helping you put your music on these platforms. They're not helping you sell them. They're doing it. Here it is. It's on the platform. Why people even thinking that giving up any percentage is a good idea is beyond me. But signing a contract with a distributor seems stupid too. And once they get you in, they want to keep you in because you're at first refusal. It's never not worth it not to litigate. So whoever that is should reach out to me, because most likely it's a quick email from an attorney. They're going to go, okay, yep, sorry, we fucked up. You're right. It says in the language. But the right of first refusal exists for this exact reason. Their goal is to keep you in because they're making money now. So if you want to get out, it's because you're about to make more money, most likely. And they know that.